All right, step 5, engage. So Zach gave you a good rundown of how we want to make everyone feel welcome that night, how we want to get the applications in, but we got a lot of follow-up to do right away at the recruitment event, right? So we want to engage everyone. We don't want them to feel like they're just waiting for someone to connect with them or just to show up. We can't do that. We need to communicate with them and continue to make them feel welcome and that we want them to be a part of the PAC and our unit. So we should really try to send an email or some type of message out to all the families that attended the recruitment within 24 hours of the recruitment event, right? That tells them, hey, we want you to be part of our PAC. We want you to be part of our organization, and we want to include you and make you part of it. Those families will want to hear from us. They're going to be excited to start their adventure, and they don't need to wait anymore, right? So den leaders are ideal volunteers to do these calls too, right? You don't all have to do that. We can put them, we know which dens they're going to be in. What better way to get them introduced to their new den leader and let the den leaders find out about the new families as well. So that's something, if you set that up ahead of time, make sure all of your den leaders do that within the first 24 hours and they can help you out with that. You cannot over communicate between the family joining and then attending their first PAC meeting or their first den event. I think if you get them involved with the unit right away, you give them some of that information, make sure they have the calendar of all of your events. If there's a food drive you're doing right away or an event or hike, make sure they know about that right away. If you use Scout Book, which I would recommend, make sure they get invited to Scout Book right away. They can get in there, they can start to see things, they can set up, they'll see the other people in their den right away. That gives them a bit of a connection to get involved right away. They'll also see contacts for key leaders, right? Or send that out. If you have a website, if you have a Facebook page, Instagram, whatever you have, make sure they're all invited to that right away. Now, those are the families that attended our recruitment. We can't forget about all those families that were on our prospect list. The ones that we got names of at the recruitment or the promotional events and different things like that, but they did not show up to the recruitment event, right? Those are our hot leads. We need to follow up with them as well. Maybe they just had a conflict with something at school or church or a different sport and they couldn't make it that night. But we need to spend the same amount of effort to follow up with all those families and make sure that we give them an opportunity to join as well. These are going to be, remember the families that you got at each of the events. You're going to have their names and contact information. You follow up with them. You may get some additional leads the night of the recruitment event from some of the families that are there. You know, they say, well, we thought the Clarks were going to be here as well, and we heard from them. Make sure you're on that, and it gives you something you can follow up with. Try to do a phone call to all those families and follow up with them, address any concerns they have, right? Maybe you had the recruitment night on a Tuesday night and they say Tuesdays are awful. Well, maybe their den doesn't actually meet on Tuesday night. You can address that concern and break down that barrier right away and put them at ease right away. Follow up with them, make sure they know more information about the unit as well. You can send them the calendar, you can send them all the information, and just do that follow up and be vigilant about it and get every opportunity to those families to join. The other thing we need to do here is we need to do a follow up so we can get into the weeds a little bit. Remember, Zach said, don't get into the weeds. We're not recruiting leaders that night of that recruitment event, but we do need to have an opportunity to do that. So within 1 or 2 weeks of that recruitment event, you want to hold a parent orientation night, okay? That's a great opportunity, you know, invite all of your parents. It doesn't have to just be the new ones. When I was a PAC committee chair, I used to invite all the families. Not all of them are going to make it because they're familiar with the PAC, but the more people you have there, the more they can share with the new families what's going on. You know, when we went and did this hike, it was great. It was a great opportunity for the whole family. When we did this camp out, we had a lot of fun. They're going to be able to help you talk to those parents that night and make sure that they understand that you're going to be a great pack and they're going to feel welcome again. This is your opportunity to talk a little bit about the PAC budget and fundraisers, you know, kind of lay it out for them, what you do. I used to always want to make sure that the parents knew that night of that parent orientation that we run a lean PAC, right? We're not trying to have a $5,000 or $10,000 cushion in our bank account. We're going to charge you just what we need. We're going to do fundraisers just what we need to do. And if we all decide we want to do more stuff, we'll figure out how to pay for it, right, as a group. So I made sure that they were included in all those conversations, but I, you know, very transparent and what the fees were. This is where we can talk about that, you know, selling popcorn and all the different things we need to do. And then tell them where that money's going to go. It's going to go to this, this, this. These are all the cool things we're going to do during the year. Talk about your Pac leadership and structure. So who the Cub Master is, who the committee chair, what they do. The den leaders are going to be their main point of contact to make sure that they know who those people are as well. You can tell them a little bit about the council and district structure. So where there's support from the district or the council, but also resources like Camp Big Timber out here and recruitment to resources, the advancement resources, all the different things that council and district can help with. It helps them feel part of the bigger organization too. There's a national structure, council, district, and then down to the unit. The main focus is going to be your unit though, on what you guys are doing. That's where they're going to have all the fun. Make sure they understand that we have a pretty robust, very robust leader training program and youth protection program. So that's part of our initial rank advancement. Zach showed you our Bobcat box that's got that youth protection in it for their first rank. So we're going to start talking to the parents about it right away, but they need to know that all of our leaders have background checks, do youth protection training that helps them feel they understand that we're on top of that and they feel safe about that. This is also a good time parent involvement. So this is where you can start to talk a little bit about the needs of the PAC. We lost our Derby chair. He crossed over into a scout troop this year. So we're going to need to find a new person to do that. And then you're going to be able to go and do those recruitment events and get those people into those main spots. Okay. We do have a parent orientation packet as well. So we'll make these available to you as well. So we have family information guides that we'll give you. So you can give those out to all the new families. Talk about some of the important parts of the step. We even have an agenda in here that'll take you through, give you a sample. Again, you can customize these as you need to, but we want to make sure that you guys have the information that you need. Fee charts and then adult applications. Again, this is where we start that recruitment for the adults and get them involved in the program as well.